Hey y'all, so a friend of mine who does makes music from nature sounds and uses nature for inspiration to make music. He does sort of like data sonification and stuff like that. Was curious about how Beat DJ could help him create some music inspired by bird calls. So I figured I would just give it a shot myself and see what I can come up with to see if it's possible. So, this website I found, nps.gov, they had a whole bunch of animal sounds, and like, of course, I went through and downloaded every single bird call because that's just how I am. I couldn't help myself from getting every one. I'm glad there weren't that many because then I would have been sitting there all night. Um, and I dropped them into. Can you see that? I dropped them into this birds folder. Just a bunch of MP3s, which is fine, because we're just going to be using them for inspiration, not necessarily using them to make the music. So let me open Beat DJ here and see what we can do. You can see I did some feathers to get inspired, but I want to try that again. So I'm going to do image AI. Just clear the console. Image is the image command, and then I want to get an AI image, and I want to do fractal bird feathers with water droplets. Abstract. So, let me make sure my mic is working. Yep. And, that looks better. A couple ideas I had was like, well, first we'll take the bird sounds in, try to like arrange them in a musical way, and then make music that mimics it a little bit, or like mimics the rhythms, the beats. And then another idea I had is we could try to create a generator, like a C# script to generate bird-like sounds. Nice. Is that a peacock? That's pretty. Okay. So, let's do. I want to load up my bird sounds, so I'm going to go to this bird folder, copy the file path, and set that as my source. So I ran the src command there to set my source folder. Now I can start loading up sounds, and there's two different ways to load sounds. You can use the splitter command, which is the basic way, and then I just hit enter to accept no search term. The problem with this splitter command is it's more for like rhythmic stuff. It will chop things up pretty harshly. Like if we listen back. Ooh, that's cool. It will chop stuff up pretty harshly, so let's delete that. Let's use the precision splitter command. And if you want to know about any of the commands, just run help. That will open up this help doc, but also, which you can then open and see all the commands, but also you can do help ps and it will show you that. It will show you the description and what the arguments do. So let's do ps the second argument is a number that will tell it how much to chop things up. So 0 is basically 16th notes. Higher numbers are going to be like longer chops. So let's do like 7, and then no keyword. We're just in the birds folder. That's cool. I'm just pushing the up arrow to gather, to go up to my previous commands, and then I can rerun them and press up and down. Cool, so let's put the sound 0, I'm typing 0 here, which is this number, index 0, so I'm moving that to the front of this loop. So it's a length of 16th notes, and I'm moving to the front. So now we have a nice little bird loop on that track, and then track 1, I'm going to set the length to 64 and set the index to 0. So now the whole loop length goes to the end of this section over here. And these little lines are the chops. So this is the start of a chop, this is the start of a chop, this is the start of a chop. Let's see how this sounds. I think what I want to do is drop the melody down. So melody is like pitch selection. I want to drop that way down. I'm going to go to like octave. I'm going to go down -3. Wow, that sounds really cool. Slow down. Let's slow the other one down too and see what happens. 2 octaves. Let's keep going down one more. Kind of like that too. Cool, so let's switch our source folder back to music, and I'm going to try to make some sounds to mimic these. First thing I want to do is I'm going to run the ps command and load up maybe like a pad sound. Set the index to 0 and the length to 64. Delete. That's a really cool sound. I'm just going to leave it in for now and even it out. So right now it's a polymeter loop length of 16th notes. 16 powers of 2 are going to give you like 4 on the floor, so I'm going to switch that to 16 to simplify it for now. And then I extend it using the EX command that just doubles the loop length. So I could do loop length 16 and then switch it to 32. Or I can do shrink and extend. So that kick kind of sounds like a bird. Could do like pattern. So I'm going to do the pattern command on the kick. I want to do basically like eighth notes like this one. I'm going to try to copy this one. So eighth notes, the size of each chop in 16th notes, so it's going to be 2. That's eighth notes. The number of chops, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do... Oh, are those eighth notes? Maybe those are dotted eighth notes. Do pattern 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do like 6, which is gonna make it a bit more, yeah, a bit more evened out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's do 5 actually. So I just push this up arrow to go to my previous command and then switch that variable. Now I'm going to run a volume envelope command to basically go fade on every single chop here. I'm going to fade it from volume of 0 to volume of 9 and then back to 0. And then I'm going to run dynamics command and do dynamics ascending. So you can see it's sort of fading up now, and it actually kind of looks like those bird calls. Let's see how that sounds. So, okay, we got that one out of the way. Mostly it sounds like we mimicked it pretty well, so I'm going to mute that top bird. Yes. Let's see, and the other pad is a bit obnoxious now, actually, I think about it. It's not really a pad, but it got labeled as a pad, but this sound too. I'm going to delete that. And just have the kick in there as kind of a metronome. And I'm just going to move the kick up to the top for now. Keep it out of the way. Let's find another sound to mimic this second bird. What do we want? What do we want? Let's try a generator. G, let's do a random generator of length 32. Oops. That sounds pretty cool. I just dropped the volume to 6. Oops. Sorry. Volume to 6, transition time 0. Let's load up another sound Oh yeah, let's do another generator. So the generators they're not samples, they're like synthesis functions. I don't know if I have any bird calls. Let's do 32. Spectral bird French house. This is a creative name that ChatGPT came up with. This will work. Okay. Let's basically do the same process we did for this one. I'm going to name number 3 tag synthbird 1. Replace. And let's make synthbird 2. So we're going to do, these look like what? Slightly longer. These are like quarter notes. So pattern command, select sound 5 here, which is this one. Pattern, size of each chop. Oh yeah. 4 for quarter notes. Number, let's do 8 of them. And turn them all on. And they have this kind of upward reverse thing here. So I'm just going to run the reverse command, and I want to do all the chops. Okay, the spectral bird song is super annoying. Let's mute the other bird. Bring it up an octave. Oops. Okay, we have the right idea, but that sound is super annoying. Oops. Ooh, that's nice. Let's try the same thing. Pattern 4, 8, 1. Reverse. Do a volume envelope fade up on those chops. Set the index to 0. It's a bit of a click on the end of it, so I'm going to do 0, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Back to 0. That click sucks. Not trying to have clicky stuff. Let's do G. You know what? Let's try. Just keep trying. This is gonna work. So we have a beat here that's kind of mimicking the bird sounds, and we can build some percussion on top. We can take this clap and we're going to put it on an effects rack 1, and we can give it some reverb effects. I'll run the effects command. So there's 6 effects racks, 0 through 5. I'm going to run effects, select the effects rack that I just put the clap onto, and you'll see this number here, R1, means it's on effects rack 1. Let's choose reverb. Let's choose, where do birds hang out? Forests? Forests. And now that we have that forest reverb where our birds hang out, we can put the synth birds on there. So we'll do, first I'm going to rename track 3 to synth bird 2, replace, and I'm going to put 2 and 3 on our reverb channel. And I want to mix up the harmony for, let's do it one at a time. So the synth bird 1, let's do continue. So basically the continue command will duplicate the track and shift it over so that you have a new section to work on. So if I run melody on that, I want to set it all to the same pitch. So let's choose a pitch number from our scale here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 5. Octave 0. Let's see. And the birds, bird sound 1, let's mix it up also. Melody, I don't know, 8. That's bird music. Maybe we can mix up our kick a bit here, so we'll do shuffle, 5 shuffle, and probability of the segments being on, 5. See how that sounds. So let's say we like this. If I wanted to export these to work on them in another DAW or whatever, I would just do all exp separate. Just hit enter to accept the default directory. Normalize, you probably don't want to normalize them because BeatDJ does some algorithmic mixing that's nice to preserve when you bring it into another DAW. It will help it sound better. Back up to the cloud. You can do that if you want to share the sounds with other users. Open file location. And here they are. So here's my tracks. And then I could just drag these into Logic or Ableton and they should all line up at 105. Now the tonic of the scale is right here. BeatDJ tunes the tonic to the BPM. So since we're at 105, this is what the tonic is. And our scale here, if you want to mess with that, you can run the SC command. You see the options here. You can build scales with the just intonation command or random or equal divisions. This is every time BeatDJ starts, it loads up a random just intonation scale. And I just left it at the random. We can listen to it. I can do SCP, S to stop, and then we could try random chords. So I can select the chord option, and then I can hit R for random. And I can just click tab to rerun the previous command, just listen to different chords. S to stop, SC to S to stop. That has kind of a wind chimes feel to it. The tones, I don't know. So, okay. Let's I don't know if I want to dive into it in this video, but you can. Mostly because I haven't done it in a while, but you can export the scale. If I do exp scale exp. I hope that's not broken. Scales. Okay, it worked. So it exported it into the scales folder. So you can run FIL to get to this folder with everything, and then open the scales folder, and you can see today we exported this, and those files are not there. There should be files in here, but they're not. So that's broken. I haven't used that function in a long time because I've just been doing all my producing in BeatDJ, so I haven't. But typically that would print a scale file, write a scale file and a keyboard mapping file that you can use. So I'll have that fixed in the next version. But for now, what you can do is scale print, and it will show you the ratios you're working with. And the frequencies. Pretty sure that should say 1. This should be 1. So something is off there also. Is it? Oh, wait. Okay, these frequencies look right, but I think this should be a 1. Because this is 1, this is going to be like 1.4. Thanks for bearing with me here. Let's see, feedback. Scale print is weird. But this is more or less correct. These ratios, it's missing the 1 at the bottom. So you could write your own scale file, SCL format, and work with it in another DAW. So I showed how to export stems. You can also record. So the stems don't have the effects on them, but you can record to get the effects. So let's do a recording. Start, play. Record stop, and back up, no, open. Here it is. Let's get a little crazy with it and see what we can make. So I can bring this hi-hat in every other phrase, and that would be SPP 7. SPP stands for span phrase. So spans in Beat DJ set. My ears are like muffled from these headphones. I feel like I'm yelling. Span will set the starting place and the stopping place of the sound. And it's total loop length. So Beat DJ is like an infinite timeline, so you have to tell things when it's going to loop. Everything is a loop. So we're going to do 7 span phrase from 1 to 2 phrases every 2 phrases. So now we have a larger loop. If I zoom out, you can see that repeats. Every 2 phrases, it plays from 1 to 2. And these numbers here are the representation of that in bars. So phrases in Beat DJ are equal to 4 bars or equal to 64 16th notes. So in this case, it's starting at 4 bars and it's going till 8 bars. 1 phrase to 2 phrases. So I think these bird sounds would be cool if I duplicated them all. So I'm going to do synth bird du to duplicate. And then I'm going to pitch them all up by 2. So this type of pitching with PIT also does time changing. So basically going up an octave and shortening the sounds in half. I don't want to do that on all the birds. I just want to do that on all the duplicates. So these ones that have the D1 in them. So I'm just going to do D1, search for D1, duplicate. Or sorry, not duplicate. Pitch up 2. And let's granulate those, and that's going to do like a random glitchiness effect to them. So now that I searched for D1, I don't have to enter it again. It's my default selection here. Anytime you do a change on something, it becomes the default selection. Granulate, and I'm going to do a shuffle 4, And I'm going to put all of those onto a new rack 2. I'm going to add echo to that. Enter, enter, enter to accept the default echoes. That's the cool thing about Beat DJs. You can do these crazy, like I just added so many interesting effects in a few commands. So let's load up a little smaller kick. Oh, that's perfect. Drop the volume just a bit. Then I'm going to extend it and do more of a sort of dynamics on that. Cool, so you can see how I'm starting to build out this song by using the spans. If I zoom out more, you can see that whole thing repeats again. And let's try another fun thing. I'm going to run File to open the generators folder, and I'm going to find a very simple generator, which is the sine wave. Open this, copy the code. So you can see this generate function is what it runs, and it creates some numbers that represent the audio data. Basically, they represent the -1 to 1 of the speaker fluctuation. And that's just creating a simple sine wave right now. I'm going to drop this into ChatGPT. Do the O1 for more advanced reasoning. And I will say copy. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to say make this sound more like a bird call, and make sure to implement the iGenerator interface like this sine wave script. Write as many helper functions as you need to make the bird call to make the synthetic bird call dynamic. Crafting intricate patterns. While. Watch out for while loops. It might cause a hang in the program. I'm going to say double check your work and make sure it won't hang. Make sure the while loop has a safety mechanism to exit. Oops. So you can see it is using the bass frequency. It's adding some randomness to that, which is good. If this was my own script, I would do some more fancy stuff involving the optional frequencies list to make it more aligned with the music, but that might take a while and it's a bit experimental. So let's go to our generators folder. I'm going to duplicate this. Just call it bird call. Actually, what's our script name? Oh, it is called bird call. You read my mind. Chat. Okay. Drop this. Open bird call. Drop in the bird call script. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna mute everything just to do all mute just to isolate this bird call script. Let's do generate a 30-second, 32/16 note length. It has audio. Let's play it. I'm gonna turn my headphones down. Whoa. Chat. That's sweet. So we just wrote a synthesis function in like 5 minutes because it has that nice template and you can just tell ChatGPT like, hey, do this. And that's pretty good. Sounds kind of like R2D2. Put it on the reverb channel. Give it a volume descending. Maybe I'll pitch it. I don't know. It's fine. See how it sounds with the beat. I just set all of the volumes to 6. That was stupid. Just bring those all back up. Let's do another bird call. Let's do G bird call. Length 128, index 64. Do upwards, and I'll shift it back 32, or shift it over. There we go. So I can have those come in later in the song by doing bird call SPP 8 to 16 phrases every 16 phrases. Now if I zoom out, it's the max zoom out, but I can jump forward by doing play from 8 phrases. Where are we at on time for this video? 46 minutes. That's pretty good. I think I'll just talk a bit about Beat DJ. So I don't wear myself out and do too much. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so we created a generator script. You know, you could edit this code if you know C#, or you can work with ChatGPT more. You can use these bass frequencies. This bass frequency is this right here. It's this frequency. That's the tonic. So it's going to be around 224 hertz in this case. But you know, you can do octaves of that. If I want to make it higher pitched, like, you know, we could edit this on the fly. We could edit the script, so I could just do, if I want to make a higher pitched one, bass frequency times equals 2. Now let's generate another one, and it's going to be higher frequency. We'll generate it to be 8 this time. Length 8. And put that on rack 2. We can do a polymeter loop length. We'll do 48. Extend it, shift it over to get it off the intro. Yeah, so Beat DJ is ideally it's trying to create music from the ground up, like from first principles of what music actually is. And part of that is understanding the scales and harmony, and having more diversity in the scales and more choice. So that's built into it. You know, like a problem I had with other music software was like, I have a terabyte of sounds or whatever, but you know, it's like it's such a hassle to put them into a DAW, figure out which sounds I want, load it into a drum kit or whatever, and then if you don't like it, you gotta do that again and again. I would just found myself going into DAWs and doing these like micro edits, you know, like making these crazy drum beats, and I just knew there was a faster way to do it, and so I built that, you know, into this where you can just load up sounds, you know, whatever. And it already is musical. And what it does is it takes the sounds and chops them up into pieces and then pitch shifts them into this scale. So it will do pitch detection, and it tries to get everything into the scale. The generators, obviously, they're tuned specifically to the scale, whereas the pitch detection isn't always perfect, so you get a little bit of variation, but sometimes it's good if you can, use your ear, you can tune stuff. And this thing right here is for live performance. So I'm not using it now, but you can see the stereo field is from left to right. So these are my headphones. The left headphone channel, right headphone channel. Top here is the left speaker channel and right speaker channel. So let's say if I wanted to move the synthesizer sound that I just made, I'll do move, hit enter to accept the speakers and transition time defaults. So it just faded that into what the audience would hear. And if you go to our website, there's documentation on how to set up your audio interface so you can perform live. Now I can move that back with the -1 command. Move -1. So BTJ is really about live improvisation, live performance, and also being able to use it as a DAW and creating interesting rhythms, and to work with other DAWs by exporting to other DAWs. If you want to try out Pro, we do have a discount going on for our first 500 customers. It's actually first 1,000 because we have 2 different tiers. So we have Pro, which is a month, $30 every 3 months, but you can get your first 3 months for only $3 with this promo code PRO500. The way to do that is just run let's start over. Run Pro, and then start. That's going to load up a web interface. That's going to load up a web interface. And then do add promotion code, PRO500. Maybe I shouldn't have it apply. But yeah, you would hit apply, and then you would check out. The other option is the Pro for Life option. So you can own BTJ in all future updates, our entire cloud database that's growing, our collection of synthesizers that's growing, everything, forever with this feature, with this purchase. And we have a promo code Pro for Life 500, which will take 50% off, so it's only $350 total. So those are the only payment options we have. I want to keep it simple and probably just stick to that for now. Oh yeah, and then after you check out, you want to come back in here and run Pro Enable, and that will turn on the features. I have one thing I'm excited about is this new VIP Viz Poly command is what it stands for. It's a 2D polygon visualizer. So this is one of the cooler ones that I'm interested in. What's happening? Oh yeah, it's asking me if I want to read the file for new changes. Yes. So now when I play the music, you'll see this visualizer. Try some different So if I was performing live, I could have this, on a projector while I was performing. This one's cool. I only have 3 visualizers so far. But the cool thing about the visualizers is you can edit them. You can write your own, just like the generators. So I can go in here, copy one of these, open the code, copy this into ChatGPT and ask it to write something else. I think I'm not going to do that right now, but yeah, you could do that. And I will cover the help doc. So if you run help, you're going to see this document with all the commands. Run Command F or Control F to search in here. And then we have an AI that can help you actually built in here too. So I can say AI I don't know, I could say load a synth pattern and add it to a new rack with flanger. You can ask the AI questions or you can tell it what to do. Nice, so it did this correctly. It said, here's the more detailed response. Run synth to load a synth pattern, run rack 3 to yada yada, and then yada yada. And then here's the commands. You can double click these to run. Click them once to bring them in to the input box and then twice to run it. Or you can just enter run to run them all at once. So let's try that. It's asking me for, whenever it says choose here, it's asking you for something. So it wants to know what is the depth of the flange. I'm just going to accept the default of 9, default rate, transition time 0. Let's hear how that sounds. It's a terrible synth, but let's adjust it. So we'll drop it down 2 octaves, do pattern 1 to 16. All notes on, set the index to 0, do dynamics, enter. Dynamics P will add a random semi-human pattern, volume envelope 900, melody. Let's try that. Oh, I gotta drop the octave again. Yeah. I think that's about all I'm going to cover for now. Stay tuned for more animal music. We'll do elk bugles next. Have you guys heard elk bugle before? It's crazy. Yeah, drop in the comments what I should do for the next video. If there's any questions you have, or like, experimental music stuff you want to try like this. Thanks so much for watching.